everybody, and welcome to Techegy Games of the Month. And on this, what even month is it? June. This will be for what anything we've played in June up until July 10th, I guess. I don't know. So everybody, get ready to hear what we think about games that we played. How's that for an opener? Maybe the worst one ever, but I mean, it describes what we do. What have you been playing? What are you recommending?
I've been playing. I got this for $20 at Best Buy. So this is like a Nickelodeon. This is Nickelodeon's All Star Brawl. So I like Smash Brothers. I absolutely suck at it, as my son will nod and smile and say it. So I needed something that nobody plays. So I picked this up. It was on sale for, I think it was $20 a few weeks ago. And I have to say, it's a good clone of Smash Brothers. It does come with a lot of downloadable content. If you're a fan of any of the Nickelodeon characters like the Ninja Turtles or Ren and Stimpy or Avatar or anything that's been on Nickelodeon, it's in this game. And like I said, I think they did a really good job of it. I got it for the Switch. I think it's also available for the Xbox One and the PlayStation. Um, but I would actually recommend it if you're playing this kind of game. Now, I'm waiting for it to go on sale, but I would like to pick up. I saw Crash Bandicoot has done their version of this called Crash Brawl, I think is what it's called. It just came out. I have not looked at it. It's still full price. If Microsoft ends up getting Activision, it should be on Game Pass. Hopefully, fingers crossed. But if not, I'll probably pick it up around Black Friday time. But this game right here, the Nickelodeon one, if you're a fan of the characters, you got little kids, I think it's a pretty good game. I think I would highly recommend it. As Siskel and Ebert would say, I'd give it 2 thumbs up. If you don't know who they are, that's what Bing searches for. Cool.
MC, what do you
MC?
what have you been playing?
What have I been playing? Well, I finished Star Wars Survivor, which I had to purchase, wasn't in Game Pass, but I thought it was very good. If anyone's on the fence, I'd buy it. I thought it was really good. The next one, Planet of Lana, I played. It's in Game Pass. It's pretty neat. I think basically it's you and you are playing with your sister in the beginning, and these aliens come along and steal your sister, and the whole game's you trying to go find and maybe get your sister back. It's a 2D kind of platform puzzle game. Backgrounds are they're cartoony, but everything looks really, really good. I thought the graphics were really good. They got a cutesy character that goes along with you that helps you, which is kind of cool. I think everyone should try it. I think it's very good. But my favorite one that I played this month was Bramble the Mountain King. I thought it was excellent. It's a 2D, 3D looking platformer puzzle game where you fight some extremely hard bosses. And the story, I think, is really good. Now, the first 20 minutes you play it, you may not think that. It's kind of, it's you and your sister, and I don't want to say what happens, but something happens and your sister gets taken, basically, and you're trying to save your sister. The game is very, very bloody, gory, has some cool bosses. I mean, I think it's excellent. I mean, on Steam, it's a 10 out of 10. A lot of the other places, like PC Gamer, gave it a 68%, and Open Critic gave it a 77%. But I think it's excellent. I think the graphics looks excellent, like the water in it. There's one part where you go down this creek, like you gotta jump in this creek to get away from a monster, and you're going down this creek like you're almost driving a boat or something. You're going down the rapids, and you can hit into rocks and get killed and stuff. The water looks phenomenal, and it's a cold, challenging water scene. The final boss, I'm not going to say what happens, but is super cool. The king, the Mountain King, basically is him, but it's really cool what happens there. So if you get a chance, it's on Game Pass. It's definitely worth a try. but don't quit in the first 20 minutes to an hour. The game increasingly gets better. The bosses increasingly get tougher and tougher. I mean, at the end there, I was about ready to pull my hair out, but it is really cool. Graphics, I think, are phenomenal. In fact, I'd like to see a number 2 if they ever make it. So, but that's what I played this month.
Yeah, I did play Bramble, the Mountain King, and I was the person that you said I quit playing after a half an hour. It just wasn't my type of game, but I could see it. I mean, it had good artwork, the music was great, the atmosphere was there. I could see people liking it. It just wasn't for me. That's all.
Yeah, some of the music further in the game is really awesome, and there's just one bloody part that is just so cool. I don't want to roll it for anyone, but you'll know it when you see all the blood. But check it out. So,
That's a great way to explain it. You'll know it when you see tons of blood.
you will. So,
Andre,
but it,
what do you got? What do you got? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Nah,
Andre, what
it's
do you got for us?
Go ahead and finish up, dude.
no, I'm done. That's
Oh,
it.
okay. Well, all I have is the Diablo 4, of course, and AEW. It's been out for a couple of weeks. AEW Fight Forever, which kind of has that old school Nintendo 64 wrestling game feel. It does some things better than the WWE 2K series, and it is lacking though majorly in the creative character stuff, and like the arenas and making your wrestlers. Uh, but the barbed wire death match is awesome. The actual story mode is really fun because it has branching paths, so you can actually play it multiple times, come out with different outcomes each time. First time I went through with my creative character, I was straight trash. I won like maybe 4 or 5 matches. This time around, the joking character that I made, he's pretty much undefeated, and he wins the world title. And I came nowhere close to that in the first playthrough. That's what I've been playing. Also Zelda, but I'm not a big Nintendo first party fan. But I picked up Zelda because everybody's raving about it.
Well, I think I talked about Tears of the Kingdom last month, and in my opinion, it's better than Breath of the Wild by a long shot. I think there was a lot about Breath of the Wild that I didn't think felt like a Zelda game, and Tears of the
Mhm.
Kingdom is pretty much on the same path as Breath of the Wild, but I think they brought some of the boss battles and some of the dungeons back in to make it feel more like a Zelda game rather than just some like big open world RPG, which is what after I think Skyward Sword is what led I'm in my opinion away from that Zelda feeling in the Zelda games.
Right.
Twilight Princess, Majora's Mask, um, uh, Ocarina of Time, and Wind Waker are like peak Zelda for me. Those are my top 4 there. But
Okay.
I like Tears of the Kingdom. I think it's starting to it was them pulling it back a little bit more into feeling like a Zelda game. Anyways, the one thing I wanted to comment on was the AEW Fight Forever, and I'm not going to give it away, but there's the barbed wire death match. There's 2 different parts in it where there's an explosion because there's a countdown in these barbed wire death matches. So when it gets to that end of that countdown time, the whole all the ring and everything explodes, like there's explosions. If you watch the actual death match that inspired this type of match in the game, there was an event that happened that was kind of funny. It was very funny actually, and they make fun of themselves in the game by including this as an option for the outcome of the match. So I won't give it away, but Andre says to check it out, so check it out.
Check it out.
M2, what do you got?
So I am what I like to call a video game frogger in that I jump between a lot of different games. So in the last month, I have played 34 unique games on Steam alone.
Wow.
So
Some of those
narrowing
in South
down,
Korea.
yeah. So the thing is narrowing down a handful down to what, 2 or 3 is very challenging for me. So I think I'm gonna cheat and say since I wasn't on last month's, I'll add a game, but I'll go quickly. But I needed to
Yeah.
preface it by saying I'm cutting it down from more than a game a day to 4 games. Um, it's the Starship Troopers Terran Command. Love that game. It's like Halo Wars, but it's like $20. If you like Starship Troopers, you'll like the game. Game's not great, but if you like RTSs, been playing that. Tape to Tape is a early access hockey game. It's a roguelike. So you're building your hockey team up as you go through and you beat teams and power up your team. Absolutely love that. It's the best hockey game on Steam right now. Steam sales on Assassin's Creed. You can get them all for under like $100. So I beat Assassin's Creed 1. Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. I missed it when it came out. Really enjoying that game. It's an open world Dragon Ball Z game. If you like the fighting games, but not necessarily just fighting, it's pretty good balance. And finally, the game that was like 100%. If you listen to any game I recommend, if you like shooters, BattleBit Remastered is the game right now. What 256 multiplayer, 127 versus 254, 127 versus 127, 64 by 64, 32 matches, proximity chat. It's got kind of like Minecraft graphics, but it has so many quality of life, but I don't say bugs, features, right? That games, most AAA titles that are shooters, big destructible environment shooters just don't have. Like the thing that jumps out of me is in say Battlefield, if you go to try and revive one of your allies, well, if he got killed by a sniper, you're getting killed by that sniper, right? Because you can't pull your guy out of fire. You have to drop smoke and pray the sniper doesn't remember where he put the guy down. Well, in BattleBit, you can smoke, but you can also go in and grab the guy and drag him to cover before you heal him, and you can heal him on the way. So that attachments feel good. There's no battle pass. You buy it for $15, and you're in there and you're playing, and just it feels good. It's a breath of fresh air for the shooting genre. That's it. That's all the games I'll talk about.
I was gonna say I was like you, but I'm like 10 games a month, not 32.
Well, that's just on Steam. Like I bought Diablo. I've been playing Overwatch again. I always play League, but those are the I think the standouts.
Cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, I actually looked up that. I looked up
Good,
the tape to tape game on Steam. I think I'm gonna have to buy it. It looks pretty interesting.
Is really good. Like I mean, I'm a massive hockey guy. That's one of the reasons why if there's a hockey mini game in a game like Burger King Big Bumpin', I'm gonna play it. But tape to tape, not only is it not only does it look good, but the hockey in it actually plays pretty well. But be prepared to be frustrated because they cheat because that's the power ups. But it's fun.
And the game is still in early access as well. So
yeah, you can't fight right now, but you can like throw your stick at people and knock them out. You can hit people, and you as you level up. So like you can level up. So every time you hit someone, they're down for triple the amount of time. So one of the achievements I have in the game is have everyone on the ice down at the same time.
great.
It's good. It's a lot of fun.
Cool. Well, I guess that leaves me. I got 2 games. First one I'm going to talk about. Probably everybody, if you haven't already played it, you at least know somebody that probably has. It just came out, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago. And that's Final Fantasy 16 on the PlayStation 5. A little bit dark in here, sorry. But, I mean, it's Final Fantasy. You can't go wrong. If you liked Final Fantasy 15 that came out, was that 2016, I think? 2016? You'll like it. Gameplay's pretty similar. I think they went much further with the story, the cinematics, and there's a little bit more depth to the gameplay. But if you did not like the team based real time combat in Final Fantasy 15, it didn't change a whole lot in this one. But there's a lot of fun to have in this. It's massive open world. I mean, does Square Enix really ever mess up Final Fantasy? That's their main franchise. I could think of maybe one. one time that maybe once or twice that they've maybe not done so well on a Final Fantasy, but the major canon Final Fantasy games are usually very well executed and turn out well. Absolutely would pay full price for it. The second one, no longer on sale, unfortunately, but I picked it up a few weeks ago when it was and on Xbox One, but it is on Steam right now for $15. Probably about 20 on Xbox and PlayStation. But that is hold on. It's 50% off on Steam now. Does that make it? Give me 1 second. I just want to make sure I get the price right here. So yeah, so it's normally 30, it's 15 right now on Steam. That is Hobo Tough Life. It is a hobo simulator. You're a hobo in
I thought
like
you said something else.
no, no, hobo with a B, and it's in like Eastern Europe, and it's dark, cold, very post-Soviet Union atmosphere, and you're homeless. You try to survive. It's very difficult at first, and you can slowly start, like once you start figuring out what you need to do, where you need to go. I will say the map isn't the best, and I'm constantly getting mugged by people, but I'm homeless. So like I'll get a couple coins and then I get mugged in an alleyway by somebody and they take my couple of coins. I'm like, you can choose to fight them. So if you have a weapon, you can pick up like bats, broken bottles, things like that. You can try to fight them, but it just seems like there was the one day I was playing, I kept getting mugged. Like every time I went down a side alleyway, I was getting mugged by somebody. And I'm like, I don't have anything to give you. You're mugging a homeless person that has nothing as it is. So there are missions you can do. You can get better gear, clothing, things like that. You rummage through dumpsters and garbage cans and pits for leftover food, cigarette butts, hobo stuff. It's homeless simulator. I think it's great, and it's multiplayer. You can play online multiplayer with other people.
Bum
And
fights.
yeah, it's Hobo Simulator, Hobo Tough Life. Check it out. So those are my two games, and sounds like we've all played some good stuff this month. So as we all say here at Techegy Podcast, stay
Hey,
nerdy,
nerdy, my
my
friend.
friend.